see the city, they inherited, we used to have from the crop, go east a half mile of that.
That wasn't so many years ago though, was it?
No, that wasn't too long ago.
I thought we did
That
some of
was
those
3 or 4
swaps.
years ago.
Yeah.
They got that.
Yeah, we did some horse trading.
Yeah, because they annexed all that stuff and let it all course. Yeah, that didn't hurt my feelings, but they got that.
9 a.m. All right, we are still.
It is 9 a.m. I am going to call this meeting of the Codington County Board of Commissioners to order. It is Tuesday, March 15th, 2022. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance and we'll have Commissioner Johnson lead us this morning.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. I might note also, if you have a cell phone, if you could silence that. If you need to take a call, if you could step out into the rotunda, and we are streaming live on YouTube. Item number 2, call for, I would also mention that Commissioner Gable is streaming in this morning, and so any votes that we take, Lee, I'll just call for yours separate. Or actually, can we, if it's not a no vote, can we just do it? We don't have to call.
You don't
his-
have to do a roll call.
Okay, okay.
anymore. Nope.
Just with him. Okay, so
Yep.
we'll give you a little time though to answer because sometimes it's delayed. All right, item number 2, call for public comment. Public comment may be submitted by telephone for individuals of items that are not on the agenda. The 2 numbers are 882-6248 and 882-6297, and we will address them during the open part of the meeting. Item number 3, conflict of interest items. Are there any for fellow commissioners of items on the agenda?
No.
All right. Item number 4 then, action to approve the March 15th, 2022 agenda.
So moved.
Motion by Gable,
Second.
second by Johnson. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. Item number 5, action to approve the March 8th, 2022 minutes of the Codington County Board of Commissioners.
So moved.
Motion by Johnson,
Second.
second by Gable. Was there any additions or corrections? Not hearing none. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. We'll move on to monthly reports and we'll start with Facility Manager Steve.
Morning again, Steve.
Good morning.
Good morning, Steve.
He's on so I can see. All right, we'll start out with government buildings. I've been working on some preliminary stuff for 2023 budget and getting some quotes for that and a few things for items for this year. Hopefully by next week, we should have the paperwork for the bid letting for the courthouse roof. So that they notified me that they should have everything to me to be able to bid to the agenda for next week.
And that's being done by the consultant.
Yep, that's being done by, yep. Then in a couple weeks, the phone system of the contract for our phone system, so that is expiring, and Troy and I will be commuting with from the state, and so we had on that and what options that we have. Also now going to the detention center. They've had a few leaks on the roof over there with the quotes of being done or looking into for the boiler and heating and cooling units over there, with the roof being 20 some years old over there, that we'll probably be removing some units. So we're going to get some quotes for looking at replacing also the roof over there. It's 24 years old. It was from the first start on the sheriff's side.
Okay.
The
yeah, 'cause
detention center was done 2000, I believe, 17
Yeah.
or 18.
That's what I was gonna say. I knew we
Yep.
did. We just. did
Yep, that's a
part of it.
rubber roof also.
And these items will be for the 2023.
2023 budget, yes.
Okay.
Then ag building, mostly events going on, plus the ruckus system, or basically firewall system, is 11 years old. And so looking at I'll probably be putting that on the agenda next year to upgrade the ruckus system for that. Basically the firewall and stuff. So I'll be sending that through, plus also on there, and so there's a computer that's 11 years old, still has Windows 7 on it, so it's not supported no more, so I have that also on that, so.
Also, maybe the whole sprinkler thing. And if we can find that documentation from
I
the
can-
state,
Oh,
So
that,
this information you sent me was for the ag building?
yes,
Oh.
one's for the ag building, yes.
Okay.
I think, I didn't probably
Okay.
specify exactly, but
Okay.
can't
Alright,
remember,
Okay.
Cindy. Yeah, I'll look into the stuff for the, I do know I have the old quote, and so that, of course,
yeah.
things have been changed quite a bit for out there since then,
But
so.
I think if we can tie it to the ARPA dollars, we need to find the documentation from the state that they refuse that as a secondary hospital
Yes,
because of that.
I do have that. Jamie actually gave me the
Okay.
documents of all the stuff that was done on that, and so that before he had left, so.
Very good.
Weed, of course, this past month had weed conference. And I'll give some people that spoke. Cindy, of course, she gave on budgeting. Paul Johnson gave on driftage with Nathan Mueller, Grant County Weed Supervisor, Mike Swingler, trying to think,
I know, I'm trying to think. too.
McPherson County Weed Supervisor and myself helped do the presentation on that. And so that, which this is probably a couple times now that I've helped work on a presentation at conferences and so that. It gets a little easier as you
Mhm.
go along doing it. Cindy did a great job and so that, so.
Yeah, I think there was, I mean, overall, I haven't went other years, but it seemed like well-attended conference. so.
It's a well attended. Of course, there's always requirements, you know, in order, you know, to attend these because of our
Certifications.
grant dollars and so that. But also the South Dakota DOT gave on contracts presentation. FSA gave on compliances and so that, of weed compliances and stuff. A deputy from Corson County had on drugs and so that, and he actually had a drug dog there and did a presentation. I didn't go outside. I don't know if you went
I
outside,
just
Brenda,
stood by
but
the window and watched them. It
So-
was chilly that day, so I stayed inside.
and
But yeah,
then,
that was really interesting. That was pretty
yeah.
eye-opening.
There was a lady from USDA, Carol, she gave on Canadian thistle rust and yellow toad flax, of biocontrols used on those two. Mitchell Tech gave on drones. And then weed enforcements by Brenda Severs, Department of Ag. And then noxious weed data, and so we had from the past year, and so that was given on from Paul. And then we had Rick Milner. He was Watertown superintendent at one time. He gave on leaving a legacy, which there was a whole lot of people that really enjoyed his presentation. I would advise, if you are having a leadership deal, to have
Yes,
Rick
that was spot on. Like,
give.
it made you, yes. I would also just mention, when you're talking about enforcement, weed enforcement, you know, the general public maybe thinks some of these ordinances that are in place are set by you, but in
No.
all actuality, it's set by the weed board and they decide and vote on that.
Yep.
So you have nothing to do with that. You're just in charge of
I'm just in
enforcing it.
charge of enforcing this way. I go out and investigate, and then I either get pictures and so that, and it's a lengthy process and so that to do this, but it's actually, everything is all set by the weed board.
Yeah, it's
and
nothing
stuff,
that you
so,
have any
no.
control over. So I think there's some misconception out there that you're the one setting these rules. but-
Right. Then, also, my weed meeting I had, on that Wednesday night and so that well attended and so that, so, working on, state contract, which I have that for today, and then sent out the contracts for the townships and stuff like that a week ago. Hopefully I have a deadline for them to return that on April 30th. And then there's a biocontrol meeting down in Yankton, on April 5th and so that I put in a travel request to attend and so that, so.
Yes,
And then going to park, Currently, as of yesterday at 10 a.m., there's been 110 online reservations made so far this year. Of course, a lot of stuff was pre-booked last year too, so.
So that does include those. as
Yeah,
well.
that, there's also plus.
Okay.
And then, there's one other note that I was thinking of.
So the 110 includes
No,
previous, or these are just since you
these
opened
just
the?
since we opened
Okay,
online.
okay.
and-
So
Yep,
Yep.
okay.
yep.
Okay,
I can't think, I was thinking of something else, but I can't think of what I was gonna say right now, so.
Might come.
Oh, I do know. I did get word and so that probably in April here, I'll be getting a notice pretty soon to have the fogger, mosquito fogger recalibrated this year again, and they are looking at also doing an in-house class again this year again. So
Weather spotter. Who's that? Is that you?
nope, that would be
Oh,
Andrew.
that's Andrew.
And I
Yep,
think those dates were mentioned a while back, but
yep, they'll be coming up. So
yeah.
It land in live this year.
and live,
Live and
yes,
in action, yeah.
yep. That concludes what I have to report on that I know of.
All right. Does anyone
Thank
have
you,
any
Steve.
questions for Steve?
A quick question, Madam Chair.
Yes.
For the ruckus routers, those were for the extension center, or was that for everything?
Yeah, no, for the extension center. Yeah, the ruckus.
Okay, thanks.
Yes.
All right. Anyone else have any questions?
I suppose I could ask, why do they call it ruckus?
I have no idea.
I thought maybe you had
That's,
the answer.
no, you gotta ask Connecting Point. That's just what they have named as,
It's
what they have
Brand,
named.
it's a brand name.
Yeah,
Right. Not hearing any. Let's move on then though to item number 7. Your DOT, action to approve a contract with the DOT for 2022 weed spraying.
this contract, Ms. Levitt, I have put the bid for $24,960. It gets a little bit trickier with the cost of chemicals going up. I had to do some adjustments, really have to watch this. This is gonna be probably a lot closer and tighter this year for doing weed spraying this year for what usage that I've used and so that in the past, so.
Yeah.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Johnson, second by Waterman. Any other questions, comments out of anyone? All right, I'm not hearing any, so all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Oh, Commissioner Gable, I didn't hear you. I didn't give you a chance to vote.
Aye, I was muted, sorry.
Okay, all, any opposed? Not hearing any, that motion carries. I guess I should have mentioned at the very beginning, it's pretty obvious, but Commissioner Van Duzen is absent today. So I know Cindy will have it in the minutes, but for anyone who's not able to view, note that. All right, thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
All right, then let's move on to the highway superintendent. Morning, Rick.
Good morning. Well, I'll start off with, the guys are out putting up load limits on all of our asphalt roads today. This is something that we do every year. And, right now the roads are really rough, especially the asphalt. Some of the gravels are rough. So please slow down because we can't mark all the bumps in the road because the frost heaves they're everywhere. So,
Yeah.
and the guys are out working on the gravel roads now that the weather's warmed up to try and get some of those smoothed up. We've had to haul a couple loads of gravel on some box culverts that seem like they just sunk out of sight. The railroad tracks are horrible this year. The one on the west side of Lake Pelican, our County Road 17, about a mile north of our County Road 20, that one is really bad. We've got flashing lights, flags by it, but that one, people need to really slow down because that one's bad, real bad. So
The one on County Road 6, I went over it yesterday and it looks good, but it is not. I mean, it must be a 6-8 inch drop off. I mean,
Yeah.
it's tough. You hit that at anything over 10.
Yeah,
You won't have any dirt left on your vehicle, that's for sure.
yeah, that's
bad.
another bad one. So hopefully, and the railroad knows about that one.
Didn't they redo that one a couple of years
Yeah.
ago?
Yeah, the one on County Road 6,
On County Road 6, yes.
Yeah.
Yep,
just
But-
west of the barn. out there.
yep, that one,
They redid that, but she sunk.
yeah. They put a new crossing in, but they did nothing underneath the
No.
crossing. You know, and we put new asphalt. We
Yeah.
dug it all out on both sides and we had it nice, but yeah, it's, that's another one that we have flashing lights by and so,
On County Road 11 has been perpetually bad forever, right?
yeah. And they know that one's bad, so hopefully they can do something with it this year. So, yeah, they're rough.
I think the sad part of it is that the constituents, you know, a lot of them are my neighbors out there, they don't understand. They just think that we have the power to make a phone call and they get fixed. They
Yeah.
just don't understand that they're just difficult to work with. And so you just gotta keep, you know, telling them that there is a number on that sign, stop and take that number and call it every day. Or often every day.
Yep, even a couple times a day.
Yep.
Yeah, I've had people in the office the same way that think that we can do something with it. We're not even allowed to work right next to it unless we have permission, because it's in the right of way of the railroad track. So we're left at the mercy of the railroad, so.
Yeah. And they are bad enough, so you could do damage to your vehicle.
Yep.
If you hit them. I mean, that's how bad they are. That's the way it is. Slow down. You're right.
Every spring, we go through this with those.
Yes, we do. Well, yesterday we had to plow snow in the northeast corner of the county. There was just a couple places on County Road 3 and 6th where there was a little bit of snow.
Mhm.
Nowhere else had anything,
Yeah,
but we kind of lucked out because further north, they had 4 to 6 inches of snow.
right. Went over east to Millbank and
Yep. The guys are crack sealing when weather allows. Lately, we've been able to get out more, but there was a while there when the weather would not allow crack sealing. So the guys cut trees in the meantime. They're working on County Road 6 on the new asphalt from County Road 11 going east to Waverly, and then they'll go south down to 212. There's a lot of miles there that we want to get sealed up.
yes, especially with that new road.
Yep, with new asphalt there. The stuff that they totally ground, I think there's only like one crack in the whole thing. It's moved up and down, so it's kind of a little bit rough, you know, like the rest of the roads, but it's not near as bad, but it hasn't cracked. One of these days it'll crack, but
Yeah.
this winter it did not.
Sure.
They've also been working on stuff in the shop when they can't go out and cut trees, when the weather just doesn't allow us to be working outside. Working on stuff in the shop to get things cleaned up. Tomorrow, LTAP will be putting on a crack sealing class at our shop. They've invited 5 or 6 other counties, so hopefully we have
Where are you gonna put them?
in our shop.
But your room?
No,
That's not,
no,
oh,
it'll be out in our shop.
oh, well, okay, yeah, I was gonna say that little room. 5 or
Yeah, our
6
break
counties.
room's not very big.
Mhm.
But I'm not sure how many people will attend, but they've invited most of the counties right around us to come and participate in that. Our sign guys have been working on signs when they can. And also we have purchased an app that First District put together to identify our signs. I'm going to use Charlie's Road as an example. Last year, we had somebody take the signs down and we didn't know what was there.
Hmm.
So,
Oh, yes, when they redid all those signs, we never did get that
yeah, we
information
didn't
of where
get
they were
anything.
placed.
Yeah, so they have an app on the iPad that we purchased. What they do is they walk up to it, hit the button and it gives them a GPS location of where it's at. They step back, take a picture of the sign, they record if it's in good shape, bad shape, whatever. And what the post is, all that stuff. And that way we can pull it up on the iPad. I have it on my phone. So if one of the signs is missing now,
You're gonna know.
we know what it is. We just got to get them over all of our signs. There's a lot of signs in the county, so
Yes.
it's going to take time.
Well, it was kind of on the order of that culvert thing, so that was a
Yep.
good,
Yep. It's
Um,
basically the same thing
Yeah.
as that.
good. And also, have you received the map of, like the townships or whatever were, you still have, you do not have that, so they still need to
Yep.
contact the state on that.
Yep.
Okay,
If they need that number, they can call our office
Okay.
and I can give it to them.
right, because you did not have those. That night it was reported that they thought you had copies of
No,
that, so.
I haven't received anything. Once in a while, I'll go to it and it'll be gone
Mhm.
off the computer and the state must be working on something.
Yeah, adding in.
So it's still in their
Well,
hands.
And they don't want people to have access to that per se, because they don't want anybody going in and editing it. So since they're in the process, yes, then once that gets finalized, then they'll send it out to everyone. But I think individual counties, the perception was that like we would have just
Mhm.
our own county for the townships, but.
Yep.
Okay,
And see, the county just helped the townships
Mhm.
do it. You know,
Right.
the townships were actually supposed to do it themselves. And
yes, but I think they just thought
Yep,
it would be sent back to you. So,
yep,
but just for clarification, it's not there.
that's correct. Troy, Brenda and I met with the mayor, the street superintendent, a couple city council members, the public works director, city engineer about their new shop that will be across the street from us. We just discussed a few things on where it's at, what they'd like to have, what our needs are, because basically it would be to park our trucks in their shop in the wintertime where it'd be heated. And in the summer, they'd come back to our shop, but it's just in the very preliminary
Mhm.
to get things started.
Right, but we will still continue the salt sand sharing like we do,
Yep.
so,
Yes,
and that we've already been doing.
yes. I met with one of the DOT, or there was two DOT members there, and Mark Yunker about the bridge on 14th Avenue. Because Mark has drawn up what it'll look like, and the city was there also. They want some participation in that, because somewhere down the line, they may want a bike path. So that may be part of when the bridge gets built. This was a preliminary engineering grant that we got, because the bridge is not ranked high enough to qualify for the bridge big program.
Hmm.
And for us to replace it, we'd have to spend half of what the construction costs and half the material. So the county would be pitching in half of everything. But we're gonna have to do something depending on what happens, because it is currently not load rated. And we do not want to get it to a load rated situation, because if you guys remember in 97, there was only two places to cross
Yes,
to get from one side of the city to the other. And that was one of them. And the other one was 212.
Yep.
So that's something that we're in the works on.
so since we don't qualify for the big, what about the city then? It's not there, so that.
It's not their bridge.
Even if it's within, okay.
Yeah, it's not their bridge. It belongs to the county.
Gotcha.
Also, the bridge on County Road 2, which was load rated in 2020. That one had a preliminary engineering grant for that too, and Mark has drawn up the plans for that. And he sent it to the state, so we'll be having a meeting once they look at it to see if there's any issues with that and decide the rest of the things to go along with the bridge. So, and then the one down on County Road 20, that one will be coming shortly after that, because there was 3 of them that got load rated in 2020.
Hmm.
We got one fixed last year, and those 2 need to be
Next
fixed.
time.
So
Yep.
we'll be applying for the big program on that to have those replaced. That's about all I have right now, so.
Last Tuesday, Natalie and Troy and I met with Rick and his staff people out there with a safety check, our safety follow-up on our safety meeting. And I don't know, the safety meetings, it's good in the fact that we just had made some recommendations the last time we met, and then we just met and followed up to find out what they have accomplished, what they've done, and what do you think, Rick? Do you have any comments on what's happening as far as, this is kind of the beginning of having safety meetings with all the departments
Mhm.
eventually. What could we do better, or what could we do to enhance that, or what do you think?
Well, I think, like the employees, if they have something, bring it to the supervisors and discuss it. Don't wait until you think it's bad enough where, the world's gonna come to an end
Yeah,
if it doesn't get fixed. Work on it, stages, just,
Sometimes
Get
it's
going.
easier to catch it right away
yep.
before things
There's
progress.
things that we don't see, because we're not out in the shop working all the time or on a piece of equipment. That's like we came up with, from the safety meeting, one of the deals for the truck inspection. That way it goes through it.
Mhm.
There's somebody that goes through that inspection, and if there's an issue, they give it to the mechanic. And if the mechanic can't fix it, we take it somewhere and have it dealt with, so.
Right. And that was probably expressed to the employees as well at that meeting that.
Yep.
just-
Yeah, because it was their idea to have the trucks
Okay.
inspected.
Yeah.
And I thought we could do it ourselves. That way they learn more about their own vehicles that they're driving,
Right.
so.
And we have a mechanic on hand, so that's part of the process too.
Yep, and we've got a good mechanic
Yeah.
to help take care of stuff. But there's 14 other people that are using the equipment, so
Mhm.
they're responsible to make sure it gets brought to his attention
Right.
or my attention or Lynn's attention that something needs to be fixed. Don't wait until it's,
Really broke. Yeah.
but there's some things that, as far as from the safety committee, that we see that we don't need to be refixed, and by having the safety meetings, we always kind of keep the fire burning under the department's feet to keep them out, like the ventilation for the welding. That's kind of important because they do a lot of welding out there, and
yep.
You don't think it's smoky in there until you step outside.
Mhm.
And then you realize that there's a lot of, whenever you weld, there's a lot of smoke. And then they had a press that was malfunctioning, that wasn't working properly, and that's getting repaired now. So that's the things that the safety meetings are about, is to get these things taken care of. And as far as the venting for the welding, Hartwig has already been out and done some measuring and going to start building a hood, and they're also gonna adapt it so it'll actually be able to vent the exhaust from the trucks when they're running within the shop as well. So kind of killing two birds with one stone. And so that's the result of the safety meetings that we've had with Rick.
Mhm.
And I hope from your standpoint that you can see benefits in having them too.
Oh, yes. Like the hood for the welding, we'll be able to use that for other things too.
Yeah.
Because like the truck exhaust,
Mhm.
that thing's been there since I've been there,
Mhm.
you
Even like
I've
when
been there a
you
long time, so,
mentioned about painting, otherwise some of that stuff even makes its way up into the offices.
yes,
So,
yes, it does, so.
yep. Well,
Thank you, Rick.
we're in
Yep,
the right
thank you.
direction. Lee, did you have any questions?
No, I don't. No, it's a good report. Thank you.
All
Thank you.
right, very good. Oh, yes, you're done. We're good. I was thinking we had one more thing. Yeah, something you didn't know about, right? All right, item number 8, we'll have Andrew come up, I believe, and we'll do these next 3 items. So the first one is action to approve an emergency management deputy director job description. You all received that. And I believe we kind of had a conversation. I don't know, Andrew, is there something you want to add to that?
Just that currently Sherry, who is in the secretary position, she's very uniquely qualified. She has a lot of experience and she's a certified emergency manager. I think in light of those qualifications, she should be strongly considered for a deputy position. And I don't know.
And this is just to change the job description from mostly secretarial to now the deputy emergency.
Well, we'll
manager.
leave the secretarial.
Yeah, we'll still
description
leave that in
place.
there. Yes,
Yep,
yep.
this is just
This
an
is-
added one
yeah,
because we did not
true.
have one
Correct,
previously.
correct.
Yep.
We're just changing the title of
I'll move that we approve the job description. That's number 8.
Yep.
Second.
Who got that
Charlie said it
second?
first.
Okay, all right. Any other discussion on that?
Just, Madam Chair, just to, I think it's good to note that, this is, we did have this deputy position before. And it's kind of the way it should be, because if the emergency manager has to be gone, which will happen from time to time, we're talking about emergency management, so it's proper to have a deputy. So.
All right. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Not hearing any. That motion carries. All right, then we'll move on to 9, action to approve a revised wage scale, adding an emergency management deputy director position, and have that in the scale. And Natalie had conversations with the individual that did this and how to go about adding these sorts of positions when they come up. So if you feel comfortable with that.
And that was added to pay scale 40.
Need a motion, so moved.
All right, motion by Waterman,
I'll second.
second by Gable. Any other discussion? Not hearing any. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. All right, then let's move on to 10, action to approve the application for the Hmep grant
That's
funds,
you
and that
also.
would be Andrew as well. So I'll let you kind of give a little explanation of that, and then we'll see if there's any questions. And
Okay, yeah, HMEP, it's the Hazardous Materials Emergency Preparedness Grant. We've applied for it the last several years for training for hazmat. There would be 2 classes at LATC that Don and Scott from the fire department would instruct. I actually went to it their last class. It was very good. It was one that I went through at Law Enforcement Academy. But I mean, they do that for their classes there. So I mean, this would just be continuing like what we've done in the
And
past.
the grant award is
And-
$3,000 for the 2 classes.
This time we're planning on doing 3.
oh,
So
okay.
in the past, it's been the 2 classes for Lake area. We want to add a 3rd one for other emergency responders that we could put on in the evening
Okay.
to fit with their schedules a little bit more.
So we have
then-
2 of them, just
Yes.
like in December. Okay.
And then
Okay.
like for the fund match, it's like we use either the salary of the people who are attending the class or the volunteer rate to meet our match. So it's actually no cost to the county.
Okay, very good. Make sure everybody's up to speed on hazmat training. It's,
I'll make a motion to. I'll second.
all right, motion by Johnson, second by Gable. Any other questions or comments? Not hearing any. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, that motion carries. Thank you. All right, item number 11, action to declare a computer monitor surplus to be destroyed.
And this is a monitor in the Director of Equalization Office, and she did request that it be declared surplus to be destroyed. It's an HP monitor.
So moved.
Motion by
Sec-
Gabe
Second.
Waterman. Okay, second by Gable. Any other comments, questions? Not hearing any. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? That motion carries. Item number 12, action to approve Delta Dental Insurance renewal rates and county employee splits.
Delta Dental is one of the insurances the county provides for employees. Currently, the county pays the full single premium, and they pay half of the 2-party and half of the family premiums. So We got a renewal letter from Delta Dental. Our renewal rate analysis suggests the 3.1 increase is required, but in order to keep our premiums down, Delta Dental has limited our rate increase to 1.8%. So the single policy will go from $42.50 to $43.26, which is a 76-cent increase. Two-party increases $1.38, and family increases $2. And the county has previously, like I said, paid the full single premium and then half of the two-party and half of the family. So we just, if it's your wish, we would have a motion to accept these renewal rates and keep the current splits in place.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by
Second.
Gable, second by Waterman. Any comments, questions? Not hearing any. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? That motion carries. All right, item number 13, action to approve abatement applications.
This is a mobile home that was destroyed in a fire back in January, I believe, a year ago, back in January of 2021. Is that right? Does that sound right? Record number is 20052. The amount to be abated is $32.23.
So move.
Motion by Johnson,
Second.
second by Gable. Any comments or questions about that?
And that was for 11 months of the year. It was prorated.
All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Not hearing any. That motion carries. Item number 14, action to approve claims for payment.
We have two claims today. The first one is a claim payable to Clark County, and it is for the registration for those officials who are attending the Sioux Valley District meeting next Wednesday, March 23rd. And the second one is, and that was in the amount of $60. And the second check is payable to the Codington County Sheriff in the amount of $15,000. And that is to get the inmate trust account set up at the bank that the sheriff has chosen for the commissary program.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Gable, and a second,
Second.
second by Johnson. Any comments or questions?
And that 15,000 will be balanced at the end of each month, and that amount will remain there. It's just as an operating
Startup.
cash. Yep. If it looks like we won't need that much, we'll probably revert that back to the county general fund at some time. A portion of it
It's a
possibly.
stable pool.
Yes. Yep.
Should be self-funded. All right, are we ready to vote? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Item number 15, action to approve automatic budget supplements.
None today.
All right, action to approve personnel changes.
We have one personnel change. Sherry Howell is a clerical position in the emergency management office. And she is recommended for promotion to the deputy director of emergency management. Step 1, grade 40, $25.11 per hour, effective April 1st.
So moved.
Motion by Gable,
Second.
second by Waterman. Any comments, questions? Not hearing any. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Travel requests, number 17.
We have several of those, the director of equalization and appraisal staff to attend the South Dakota Association of Assessing Officers Annual School, which was postponed from last September. And then the NCRAAO, South Dakota Association of Assessing Officers Conference also. The welfare director is requesting authorization to attend the annual spring meeting of the welfare organization. The facilities manager is requesting authorization to attend a biocontrol meeting. And the emergency management director is requesting authorization to attend the floodplain management and EM 101 training, along with EM 102 training.
So move.
Motion by Johnson,
Second.
second by Gable. Any comments, questions? Not hearing any. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? That motion carries. Item number 18, public notices. have those. Sioux Valley Commissioners Association meeting, Wednesday, March 23rd. Anybody else have?
Today you have a meeting, don't you? LAPC?
Oh, yes, but there shouldn't be a quorum there
Okay.
at that one. Not
Okay.
today, probably.
All
Oh,
right.
not ever, maybe, but
Okay.
anyway, yes. Any other meetings? Well, I suppose maybe there will be some St. Patrick's Day events that could be a quorum of us together, maybe, or at an event at the same time. Other than that, I don't really have anything unless someone else has something. Not hearing any. Any old business? How about new business? Anything for the open?
Madam Chair, could I just mention something? I'm sharing on the screen hopefully it'll work here. We have I've been asked about commissioner districts maps, like which parts of the county each commissioner is responsible for. So if you look, I'm sharing on the screen the county webpage, and first district, if you click under the commissioners tab up here at the top, and then you go down to this commissioner districts map, you can see a couple of maps that first district provided. So you can see which parts of the county each of us commissioners are representing. So I've gotten some questions about that. So first district was good enough to provide these maps. So just to let people know that that's there.
Very good. I suppose that triggered when we revamped a couple of them basically, and did that a couple meetings ago. Our last meeting approved. There was basically 2 districts that were affected. So I suppose that brought up some questions.
Yep.
All right. Anything else for the open? Not hearing anything. We do not have a need to go into executive session that I'm aware of. Motion by Johnson to adjourn.
Second.
Second by Gable. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Lee.
Have a good week.